Well, hey, good evening to you. It's been a bit stormy for some of us, mainly in the western communities. I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, well, what are these notifications I'm getting on the weather app about severe storms? I haven't seen anything. Well, it's kind of going to be later this evening. We always thought it was going to be a little bit later. You can see there on the weather app that area shaded in yellow, that more translucent, transparent area is going to be the watch. And then where you see those filled in areas, actually a couple warnings on there. I can show you here on the big screen what we're talking about. So this goes until 10 o'clock. This just got extended from 8 until 10 o'clock now for southeast Georgia here, Appling, Bacon, Brantley, Charlton, Coffee, Jeff Davis, Pierce, and Ware County. So what could you expect with these? 60-mile-an-hour wind, quarter-size hail. So first off, I want to show you where we're seeing some of these stronger storms now, all the way up near Athens. Not going to bother us, but then you've got Ben Hill County here over in central Georgia, and then looking at Lanier and Lowndes County. The reason I'm telling you about those, more so in south central Georgia, is because, well, those thunderstorms are moving our way. If you guys are chiming in on Facebook, go ahead and shoot your comments there, but I probably will answer some of your questions. You're more than welcome to ask them anyways as we go here through the little live session we're doing. Notice that we do have a decent amount of cloud cover over us right now, so the atmosphere a little bit more stable versus if, say, these thunderstorms would have come in peak heating time between 5 o'clock earlier. But a couple of nasty storms still looking off to the west there. Both of these are severe. Now, earlier today, just over the state line of Alabama going into Georgia, some of these storms had 2 inches of hail and radar estimated 80-mile-an-hour winds. The great news is that we're not expecting that tonight here for the coastal empire or the low country, but we are still seeing some of these showers and thunderstorms moving into the area. So taking a closer peek here, these are going to be outside of the viewing area, moving into the western areas here. You can see there Bacon County, Appling, kind of in line next to get in on some of these thunderstorms, at least that one that's over in Ben Hill County right now. And just showing you a loop here over the last couple of hours, we've kind of seen these try to develop in the same area. Storms like to kind of breathe like you and me. They'll breathe in, breathe out. They'll kind of go through cycles, and they just haven't been able to quite get up to that point where they can sustain themselves here for us yet. That being said, just around Metter, there were some trees down earlier where there was a severe thunderstorm that wasn't even in the severe thunderstorm watch. So I tell you guys that just to bring to the attention of you that just because there's a watch, yes, this is the most likely area of a severe thunderstorm occurring, well, it happened outside of that, closer up toward the Statesboro area. So just because you're not under this watch this evening does not mean that you can let your guard down. Just make sure you have those alerts turned on in the WTOC weather app. So instead of talking about what's going on now, I feel like I'm just chatting away here. Let's show you what's going to happen for the rest of this evening. Latest models a little bit behind on this, I think, but also keeping things a little bit quieter until we get into this evening where it really wants to bump up some convection closer to 95. Will these be severe? Probably not, but you could probably get a good bit of rain. Earlier, these thunderstorms were moving very fast. They've tended to slow down here as we've gone into the evening. And as we go to the overnight hours, things really calming down. So yes, there still is that chance for some of these thunderstorms to move in. The likelihood of you getting it, not the best. The further inland you live here for at least the next couple of hours, the better chance you do have of experiencing these storms. I'm going to be here sending out alerts, need be here, so you don't have to lose sleep or anything. If you're going to bed early tonight, just make sure you have those alerts turned on. Also, wanted to show you guys the convective outlook scale today. This comes from the national, well, it actually comes from Norman, Oklahoma, some folks that do this. And breaking this down, you've probably seen us show this on air multiple times. Some people know what it is, some people maybe not so much, and maybe you can learn here. Convective outlook scale goes on 1 through 5, marginal to high, and marginal would be kind of 1 out of 5, slight 2 out of 5. So that just classifies who's got the best chance here with the Storm Prediction Center that does these, or the SPC as we call them. So looking at this yellow area, that's where the best chance is for some of those stronger storms. And this green area would be marginal, and that's where we're seeing these storms trending to move as we go into the evening. threat-wise, well, it's going to be about 60-mile-an-hour wind now. So these storms have gone down a little bit from where they could have peaked earlier today. So you could have 60-mile-an-hour wind in addition to heavy rainfall, even though some of these really starting to slow down. Earlier when they were moving so fast, you don't really worry about flooding as much because they're moving out of the area. They're not sitting over one place for a while. But whenever they slow down a little bit, that's when you have to worry about a little bit of potential flooding. But the hail threat actually going down just a little bit. Severe winds still there. Once you get 58 up there, that's whenever it classifies as a severe thunderstorm. So I haven't looked at any of your questions yet, but I'm sure you're asking some good ones. For the rest of the evening, though, we'll begin to calm down here shortly. Actually looks like severe weather this week, not really something that we're looking at, which is good news, right? We don't want to have this severe weather. We'll take the rain whenever we're not getting the flooding, but I do think it's better than being in a drought. So let's give you a peek at what's going on tomorrow. Looks like we're going to start the day off pretty dry here. This is Monday for your morning commute, but in the afternoon we're going to see isolated showers developing. Really fair game after 1 o'clock. Notice it's a scattering of showers there. I've got Mondays at a 40% chance. Not expecting anything severe, still being controlled by this low way off to the north, so you'll see these showers and thunderstorms kind of move in from the west, southwest, and in the evening time, so about this time tomorrow, we could have a few isolated thunderstorms, but again, the severe threat Monday, just not really what we're looking at for today. Great news. I love giving you guys that news and that forecast, but we are going to be kind of controlled by this low pressure system here, especially Tuesday, Wednesday look like they're going to be very wet. So Monday, if you like the dryness, maybe not the best day for those outdoor plans, but up until about 1, 2 o'clock, you're probably going to be good, even though I know a lot of folks going back to work on Monday. So 7-day forecast, not so bad for us, I guess, severe weather-wise, but it is looking definitely pretty wet here as we go, especially middle of the week. Going to keep those highs down closer to the upper 80s versus low 90s. Good news, though, looks like we're going to have high pressure, kind of where it presses down more so on the atmosphere. Hard to get uplift and clouds forming and condensing. Looks like it's going to be taking over a little bit more so at the end of the week going into next weekend. So great news. I know we had high rain chances for this weekend. Yesterday, not really happening exactly how it could have, which is good news because it looked like we could have had some severe storms yesterday. But looking ahead to next weekend, those rain chances a little bit lower than what we've had some of the previous weekends. I know everybody's always looking forward to the weekend, even if we're technically still in it. So for those of you that may be just joining us, I want to show you the weather app here and give you an update on what we're looking at here on the WTOC weather app. You can see on your screen that yellow area is going to be that severe thunderstorm watch. This is until 10 o'clock here this evening. This does not include the coastal areas, Darien, Midway, Pooler, Savannah, Garden City, Richmond Hill, not in it. But you can also see over Bluffton right now, there is a pretty heavy shower right there. So what we're looking at is a little bit of rain even outside of the best chance area for severe weather. Now here in southeast Georgia, still not seeing much of anything in the way of anything super strong, but I'm going to continue to watch these storms that are pretty strong here over in south central Georgia move our way. So what I'm going to do now is end this video stream for you guys. I'm going to go right to my computer, answer all your questions that you've asked on Facebook. And if you have more questions, maybe you're watching this a little bit later this evening, either comment on there, I'll try to get to it. And if I miss it, you can always shoot me a message and you can like me on Facebook there. Just search Andrew Gordon, little blue check by it. Or if you guys have Twitter, I've been posting on there a lot lately as well, Andrew Gordon WX. So right now, no severe storms in southeast Georgia, one heavy downpour over Bluffton, but we still have about 2 hours where we could see a severe storm or two, which is what I'm going to be following here very closely. Make sure you have that WTOC weather app with you handy and have those alerts turned on, and we'll talk soon.